2023, 6 o'clock, the third conversation in a sequence. It's a sequential program, but coming since 2014. And kind of we'll have here 2 pens for a good book. Something quite simple that goes like this. First of all, we are discounting with the cretinismus brasilis because will and indeed happened did the violation of rights and guarantees that has no excuse to be or to exist, especially as a criminal use of state and institutional power, implying criminal results, criminal activity, and a lot of things at the architecture of power, states and institutions. They hurt my rights and I put them, in a situation debit, credit. 4312B for financial research. You can research if you had this since 2014. This happened in Brazil. We observe that the life is a guarantee. If you take too long to do the institutional decision, the criminal group will achieve this and take the life by interference and all other things, especially by abusive procedure, having the fake records, and putting the reliability of things certified down. We observe that in general, we'll have always the same criminal groups hurting the same groups of rights or spectral dimension of rights and guarantees conquered at least since 1789 as modern times. And it's a cultural destruction some way. We observe that this relation debit and credit that we complained by aggression suffered in Brazil, internationally complained, we had elected the American embassy as the right of the creditor to receive or host the payment and the satisfaction of credit. You are under the US law. And we had also the interest on Europe. We are having an institutional dialogue here, right? But the payment will be made at the American embassy. And we will do the financial research in the way we did debit and credit. Brazil has no reliability. Public budget and corporations, domestic, international, public authorities, it's some public budget worth nothing. Then we will observe that the complementary relation between criminal groups, especially at the use of power, will in general hit your activity, by interference, setting intervals as empty space. This was also observed. This interference at your regular space, once you can work with the Venn diagram as plea bargain. And then you will have your groups here considering the space and time. Give me a frequency, constant, because the budget is annual, is the source of your illicit results by the debit and credit research we did. Then you will check something like this. You didn't offer this at the plea bargain because I'm talking, so you can cooperate at this. I will do everything I can have from you, right? And the last thing, which is the movement, because I'm your creditor. It's like this. I must track that variable, as the question mark. And I will have, in the way we had in the past, we offer the model as exclusive to the OECD, trace things to the international police and the NATO and others that have, the right as receive the thing violated. I have one up to 197 nations. But I could observe that some movements are illegal. I have one up to 197 illicit movements inside each one of those regular spaces, which implies that on time and space in each country, on time since 1920, we have authorities and heads at the use of power involved by silence kept on budget of them all. We will observe that this model here, as I told, I have to track only one to get them all, and they all in general are hurting rights by complementary relations. And I need something. I could have the first thing, the debit and the credit. USA as payment, embassy, research, judicial research. Now we will observe that the United Nations is inside the United States. But if the United Nations, which is formed by chairs in each one of those nations with criminal problems since 1920, kept in silence inside the United States, its blind eye, regressed as trust, which leads to international corruption, and the functional use of international power, corruption, functional corruption. And finally, we have corrupted chairs in USA. Corrupted chairs in USA, it implies that on a regular area, I have the authorities with conflicts of interest unveiled as criminal purpose. Reason enough to have 1 up to 197 groups representatives of each one of those corrupted nations at the trial in USA, and they are summarily guilty. Right? I will take everything from you all. And it's this way. We request the prison of them all, offering the plea bargain to turn in this question mark here, which has and leads also to the bank doing the storage. If you have the illicit storage, can we consider this a criminal bank? Which is this bank and lines of investment of illicit resources and criminal results that will be settled, I bet, in the next 48 hours? We had 40 trillions to be satisfied plus 12 billion cases. A lot of people that will be sent to jail at least for a moment. And it's the law in USA. By economic espionage, Brazilian groups here, so from local hood, Rio and Saquarema, there will be 15 years. Right? Why? White, Data Tashi. Have a great day.